The Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, or ANWR, is located in Alaska. It is about the size of South Carolina. There's also an estimated 16 billion barrels of oil underneath this vast tundra. We will be exploring the controversy over drilling for this necessary resource in the pristine wildlife refuge of Alaska.
Hi, I'm Mike Porter. I'm with ExxonMobil. I've been with ExxonMobil for 24 years. I'm a geologist involved in a number of our projects worldwide, and right now I'm principally involved with a lot of our deep water development assets.
There are many advantages and disadvantages to the proposed drilling in the Arctic. The first advantage is the oil that we will extract and be able to use.
Oil is a wonderful substance. You can build things with it, you can make things with it, you can burn it. It's a great, cheap energy source. And humans in the 20th century became very dependent on this very cheap supply of energy. Oil is a commodity. Everybody wants it, not just the United States. The fastest growing economies, India, China, all want oil as well.
15 million barrels of oil are refined in America every day, but the majority of this oil is not produced here.
We import probably over 70% of our oil into the United States.
Most of this oil comes from the Middle Eastern countries such as Saudi Arabia. In Alaska, we have 30 years' worth of the oil that Saudi Arabia would send us. The difference is that Saudi Arabia has the infrastructure already built to extract this easy-to-access oil. In Alaska, we do not have that infrastructure, and in such a harsh environment, it is not easy to build.
It takes many years to get a project started in these harsh environments, and so when the leases are made, it's only the beginning of a long process.
This building process would provide jobs for American people and boost our faltering economy.
The recession has hit not just one area of the economy. It's been very broad and very deep.
There is no way that allowing offshore drilling would lower gas prices right now. At best, you're looking at 5 years or more down the road.
Even if you produce more oil in Alaska for the United States market, there's still an incredible global demand for oil, which means prices are not going to come down to 35 cents a barrel anytime soon.
Offshore drilling might reduce the overall world price of oil by a few cents.
Usually what happens is when these projects start up, more than just the drillers or the actual oil company benefits. It's all the other companies that get involved in trying to make a project go ahead.
The economic relief would not come in the expected form. Prices at the pump will in fact not change much, but resources, jobs, and business opportunities are all ways that Alaskan drilling would benefit us.
Really what you have to ask is who owns the company? Who owns ExxonMobil? It's not me. It's about over 40 million people actually own ExxonMobil. They own it through shares or stocks. So when you say profits going to the oil companies, actually ultimately those profits have to go back to the shareholder. And so the people that invest in a company by buying their shares expect a return on their investment. So when you say it goes to an oil company, it does for a period of time, but it also goes to the retiree down the street. It goes to a young couple trying to build their equity in their home, things like that. And that's ultimately where it goes. It goes into the economy.
As for offshore drilling, it's safe enough these days that not even Hurricanes Katrina and Rita could cause significant spillage from the battered rigs off the coasts of New Orleans and Houston.
Even though there has not been significant damage from Alaskan oil rigs, there is still a risk. And as the number of rigs increases, so do the risk factors. Human effects on the environment also come in the form of climate change caused by our continued dependence on fossil fuels. Carbon emissions trap heat in the atmosphere and cause the globe to warm. Based on trends in years past, we will have to make a big turnaround in our use of fuel in order to stop this climate change. Renewable energy sources are ways that we are moving away from fossil fuel But by using the oil in Alaska, we will just promote our consumption and halt the development of new technologies.
The drilling in Alaska would not only contribute further to global warming, but it would have significant effects on many endangered species of animals that are protected by international treaties or agreements. For example, drilling in Alaska would eventually disturb the migration of bowhead whales to the area. In addition, there are consequences that would affect the native peoples of Alaska, such as pollution of waterways, destruction of land, and extinction of animal populations that Alaskan indigenous people rely on.
Whenever you're going to basically come into somebody else's backyard. And that's what, in many cases, the native peoples who have been on these lands from a long period of time, the migration of peoples into Alaska. You have to be very considerate of what their culture is and their beliefs.
This displacement due to environmental destruction can be compared to the displacement in the early 1900s because of the Dust Bowl. The Dust Bowl was caused by over-farming of the land with the same crops over an extended period of time, rendering the soil useless because of its lack of nutrients. Many U.S. citizens from the Midwest were forced to flee to California to pursue job opportunities and to find arable land.
Drilling for oil in Alaska could affect so many people in both positive and negative ways. It is up to our government to decide what the path of least resistance is.